Hello, and welcome. Most of us were told that keeping our arteries clean after 60 is all about cutting out fat and avoiding cholesterol at all costs. But the real story, the one that large studies are now telling us, is much more about what we can add to our plates, not just what we take away. Knowing this difference is about so much more than a number on a lab report. It's about having the energy to play with your grandchildren. It's about feeling steady and confident when you walk up a flight of stairs. And it's about keeping your mind sharp so you can continue to live independently and enjoy your life to the fullest. Poor circulation doesn't just happen in the heart. It affects your legs, your feet, and even your brain. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 specific, senior-friendly foods that help support your circulation and keep your arteries flexible and clear. I'll explain exactly how they work in your body in simple terms. We'll cover how much to aim for, easy ways to prepare them, and a few important things to know if you're on certain medications. And please, stay with me to the end, because the number 1 food on our list is probably the most overlooked, and I'll also share a simple 20-second check you can do at home to get a sense of your circulation, plus a clear action plan. This isn't about scare tactics. It's about giving you practical, science-backed knowledge to feel in control of your health. If this is the kind of clear, no-nonsense health information you're looking for, I invite you to subscribe and join our community. We're all navigating these years together. In the comments below, I'd love to know what health topic you'd like to understand better next. All right, let's start our countdown with food number 3. This is a humble, affordable staple that many of us already have in our pantry: oats. Or, for a little variety, its close cousin, barley. Now, you've probably heard that oats are heart healthy, but let's look at the simple reason why. Oats are packed with a special type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Think of this fiber as a microscopic sponge. As it travels through your digestive system, it soaks up cholesterol-rich bile acids. Your body then has to make new bile, and to do that, it pulls LDL, the lousy cholesterol, out of your bloodstream. So, that bowl of oatmeal is actively helping to clear excess cholesterol from your system before it has a chance to build up in your arteries. This isn't just a theory. Large-scale studies have consistently shown that a regular intake of about 3 grams of beta-glucan per day can lead to a meaningful reduction in LDL cholesterol. Let's make this practical. You might notice that you get a little more winded than you used to when carrying in the groceries. Or maybe your doctor has mentioned that your cholesterol is borderline. This is where a small, consistent habit can make a real difference. So, how do you get those 3 grams? It's easier than you think. 1.5 cups of cooked oatmeal, which is about 3/4 of a cup of dry, old-fashioned rolled oats, gets you there. Steel-cut oats are also fantastic, though they take a bit longer to cook. A good tip is to make a larger batch and keep it in the fridge for 2 or 3 days. What I want you to avoid are those pre-packaged, flavored oatmeal packets. They are often loaded with sugar, which can work against your health goals. Stick to plain oats and add your own flavor. A sprinkle of cinnamon, which is great for blood sugar balance, some berries for antioxidants, or a spoonful of walnuts for healthy fats are all wonderful additions. And oats aren't just for breakfast. You can use oat flour or even whole oats as a binder in meatloaf or meatballs instead of breadcrumbs. You can toss a 1/4 cup of dry oats into a smoothie to make it more filling and add that crucial fiber. If you prefer savory, cooked barley makes a wonderful, nutty-tasting base for a warm salad or a hearty addition to a vegetable soup. A quick note on safety. For most people, oats and barley are perfectly safe. The main thing to be aware of is that drastically increasing your fiber intake all at once can cause some digestive rumbling or gas. So, if you're not used to eating much fiber, start with a smaller portion and gradually increase it over a week or 2. And be sure to drink plenty of water. Water helps that sponge, do its job smoothly. Now that we've covered the food that helps sponge up cholesterol, let's move on to number 2, which works in a completely different but equally important way. Coming in at number 2 on our list are fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, herring, and sardines. The magic ingredient here is a type of fat called omega-3 fatty acids, specifically the two powerhouses known as EPA and DHA. Here's how they work. Think of the inside of your artery walls. Over time, due to factors like high blood pressure or high blood sugar, tiny little injuries can occur on that smooth lining. The body's response is inflammation. It's like sending a tiny construction crew to patch the damage. But sometimes, this inflammatory response goes into overdrive. It becomes chronic, and that patch of cholesterol, cells, and other substances can grow into plaque, which narrows and stiffens the arteries. Omega-3s are powerfully anti-inflammatory. They act like the calm, wise foreman on that construction crew. They tell the inflammatory process, okay, that's enough, stand down. This helps prevent that plaque from building up in the first place and may even help stabilize existing plaque, making it less likely to cause problems. Omega-3s also have a well-documented effect on lowering triglycerides, which are another type of fat in your blood that can contribute to artery hardening. Perhaps you've noticed your hands and feet seem to be cold more often, or you experience occasional leg cramps, especially at night. These can sometimes be subtle signs of circulation that isn't as robust as it used to be. By reducing inflammation and improving the health of our blood vessels, we support better blood flow to every part of our body, from our toes to our brain. The American Heart Association suggests aiming for 2 servings of fatty fish per week. A serving is about 3.5 ounces cooked, or about the size of a deck of cards. The best sources are what some experts call the smash fish: salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. These are typically smaller fish that are lower in mercury. Fresh salmon can be expensive, so don't overlook budget-friendly options. Canned salmon and sardines are nutritional powerhouses. You can make a delicious salmon salad for a sandwich, similar to tuna salad, or simply enjoy sardines on whole grain crackers. If you're new to sardines, look for the boneless, skinless variety packed in olive oil. They have a much milder flavor. If you find this information helpful, please take a moment to tap the subscribe button. It helps our community grow and ensures you won't miss our next video on improving balance after 60. Now, this brings us to a very important myth bust. For decades, we were told that to protect our hearts, we had to avoid all fats. This led to a boom in low-fat cookies, crackers, and snacks, which were often loaded with sugar and refined carbohydrates to make them taste good. We now know this was misguided. The type of fat matters more than the amount. The fats to reduce are man-made trans fats, once found in many margarines and packaged baked goods, now mostly banned, and to be mindful of saturated fats from fatty meats and processed foods. But the unsaturated fats, like the omega-3s in fish and the monounsaturated fats found in olive oil, avocados, and nuts, are incredibly beneficial. They are not the enemy. They are essential for your health. So please, let go of the fear of fat and embrace these healthy, healing fats. A safety consideration here: if you are on a blood-thinning medication like warfarin, also known as Coumadin, you should talk to your doctor before starting a high-dose omega-3 supplement, like a fish oil capsule. While eating fish a couple of times a week is generally considered safe and encouraged, very high doses of omega-3s can have a blood-thinning effect, so it's something your doctor needs to be aware of to manage your care properly. And now, for the number 1 food that is so often overlooked when we talk about artery health. It's not exotic or expensive, but it works in a fascinating way to keep your arteries flexible and open. The number one food to help keep your arteries clean after 60 is leafy greens. I'm talking about spinach, kale, Swiss chard, arugula, and even romaine lettuce. Most people associate these with vitamins or fiber, and they are great for that. But they have two secret weapons for your circulatory system: nitrates and vitamin K. First, let's talk about nitrates. Not the synthetic kind used to preserve processed meats, but the natural nitrates found in vegetables. When you eat leafy greens, your body converts these nitrates into a wonderful molecule called nitric oxide. Think of your arteries as flexible garden hoses. When the pressure is high, you want the hose to expand a little to accommodate the flow. Nitric oxide is the signal that tells the smooth muscles in your artery walls to relax and widen. This is called vasodilation. This simple action lowers blood pressure, takes a strain off your heart, and allows blood to flow more freely to all your organs and tissues. It literally makes your arteries more flexible and less stiff. Then there's vitamin K. We have two main types, K1 and K2. Leafy greens are packed with K1. Vitamin K acts like a traffic cop for calcium in your body. Its job is to direct calcium into your bones and teeth, where it belongs, and keep it out of soft tissues, like your artery walls. When we don't have enough vitamin K, calcium can be deposited in the arteries, leading to a condition called calcification. This is, quite literally, the hardening of the arteries. It makes them brittle and stiff, which is a major risk factor for heart problems. The real-life feeling of this. It could be that moment of dizziness when you stand up too quickly, or it could be the brain fog that comes and goes, where you struggle to find a word. Better blood flow, thanks to flexible, open arteries, is critical for brain health and feeling steady on your feet. So how much do you need? Aim for at least 1 to 2 cups of leafy greens every single day. That might sound like a lot, but it's very doable. A big salad for lunch is a great start. If you're not a salad person, wilt a few large handfuls of spinach into your scrambled eggs in the morning. It cooks down to almost nothing. Toss a cup of kale into a soup or a smoothie. Use large romaine or collard green leaves as a wrap for a sandwich instead of bread. A pro tip for absorption: vitamin K is a fat-soluble vitamin. This means your body needs a little bit of fat to absorb it properly. So, always pair your leafy greens with a healthy fat. A simple olive oil vinaigrette on your salad, a slice of avocado with your eggs and spinach, or a few nuts tossed in are all perfect. Now for the most critical safety note of this entire video. If you take the blood thinner warfarin or Coumadin, you absolutely must speak with your doctor before making any major changes to your intake of leafy greens. Warfarin works by interfering with vitamin K. A sudden, large increase in your vitamin K intake can make your medication less effective. This doesn't mean you can never eat greens. In fact, most doctors now recommend keeping your intake consistent from day to day, rather than avoiding them completely. But this must be managed with your healthcare provider. It is non-negotiable. So there we have it. Oats to sponge up cholesterol, fatty fish to calm inflammation, and leafy greens to keep arteries flexible and wide open. These foods don't work in isolation. They work together as a team. Now, as promised, let's put this all together into a simple plan you can start this week. Knowledge is wonderful, but action is what creates change. First, let's talk about that 20-second self-check. This is a simple way to check for a sign of poor circulation called pitting edema. Sit in a comfortable chair and use your thumb to press firmly on the front of your shin, down near the ankle, for about 5 to 10 seconds. When you release, look at the spot. If you see a dent or an indentation that stays for more than a few seconds, it could be a sign that your body is retaining fluid, which can sometimes be related to heart and circulation issues. This is not a diagnosis, but it is a sign that it's worth making an appointment to speak with your doctor. Second, Here is your action mini plan. It has 3 simple steps. Step 1. Know your numbers. Talk to your doctor about your target numbers. Generally, for adults over 60, a healthy blood pressure is below 130/80. For cholesterol, you want to look at the whole picture, but good general targets are an LDL, lousy, cholesterol below 100 milligrams per deciliter, and HDL, healthy, cholesterol above 60 milligrams per deciliter, and triglycerides below 150 milligrams per deciliter. These are just guides. Your doctor will give you personalized goals. Step 2. The plate check. At your main meals, mentally divide your plate. Fill half of it with non-starchy vegetables, especially those leafy greens. Fill 1/4 with a lean protein, like our fatty fish. And fill the last quarter with a high-fiber carbohydrate, like our wonderful oats or barley. This simple visual makes healthy eating automatic. Step 3. Pick one. Don't try to change everything overnight. This week, just pick one of the foods we talked about and focus on incorporating it into your routine. Maybe it's switching to oatmeal for breakfast 3 times this week. Or maybe it's planning 2 meals with canned salmon. Small, consistent wins are what build lasting health. Remember, the goal here is progress, not perfection. Every meal is an opportunity to nourish your body and support your long-term health and independence. By focusing on these simple, powerful foods, you are taking an active role in keeping your engine running smoothly for all the years to come. I'll link to a few plain language sources in the description below if you'd like to read more. Thank you so much for investing this time in your health today. My question for you is, which of these 3 foods will you try to add to your plate this week? Let me know in the comments below. Your story might just inspire someone else. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who might benefit. And be sure to subscribe so we can continue on this health journey together. Stay well, and I'll see you in the next video.